All right, guys, welcome back to In the Pressbox, episode 25. Today we have viewing pick of the week, NFL draft, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, some more kind of extra little bits of news, predictions, and then rounding out with closure. My name is Benjamin, and you are?
I'm Alex.
All right, Aiden might be joining later, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. He's kind of losing his voice and under the weather, so we'll just hop right into the show. We'll see. So let's start off quickly with viewing pick of the week. Alex, what is your viewing pick of the week? I was able to get it from Aiden.
Oh, geez. Probably the game. Shoot. The game Saturday, I guess, because it probably has to be the weekend game, Saturday or Sunday, for the Kings and the Warriors. I think that'll either probably be game 6.
Okay. So you say Kings and Warriors game 6. Aiden says Kings and Warriors game 6, and I say the NFL draft
I said that.
is my viewing pick of the week. All right. Well, speaking of the NFL draft, let's get into it. So this is kind of the main, point of the podcast tonight. It is draft week. Here we go. So the NFL draft is here. Teams will be selecting players and the future of the NFL and their franchises. History starts at the draft. Our analysts will share and make some takes and answer some questions from the draft. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So for the final time, who do the Titans take in the first round of the draft? Who do you have?
I can. Okay, well, let me see, double check what my mock draft says. There's certainly a lot of players that I'd want to have. If anyone's open, I'd certainly probably want them. Other than Will Levis, Richardson, but my mock draft, which is kind of like I think like most confidently, I have. That pick is. Yeah, and you can find all our mock drafts. We'll say in a second. But you can find all of it. Luke Van Vest, but I would enjoy having Quentin Johnson, Bahan Robinson, even someone like Peter Strangowski or Joey Porter.
So you have is that who you have for the Titans taking?
Luke Van Ness.
Luke Van Ness in the first round at pick 11?
Yes.
So who did Aiden have? Hold on, let me look. So I had Anthony Richardson at 3. I had the Titans trading up. And I think you could take Richardson or Stroud up there. I don't think Stroud's going to go. Now, an interesting one that I had the Texans taking Will Anderson at 2. What do you think about that?
What? Sorry.
What do you think about the Texans taking Will Anderson at 2?
No, I don't think that's really an need. I think Texans need a lot of things. I don't really think you can get defense right now. Then you could probably get a good trade with the defensive player. But Stroud or Bryce Young, generational talent, and maybe we can even see Will Anderson going first. So that may not even be an option.
So Aiden had the Titans taking Anthony Richardson at 11, and I had those taking Anthony Richardson at 3. So Lucas Van Ness and a pair of Anthony Richardsons, that's who we think is going to go and head to the Titans. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Benjamin picked him at 3rd because of a trade.
Yeah, so because of a trade. So here's an interesting question, okay? So I hope you looked over the questions, but I don't know. Who is the most underrated player in the whole entire draft, in your opinion? It can be anybody. It can even be from the Vols.
Hendon Hooker.
All right. I would put Hendon Hooker up there. I think, yeah, I agree with that. Hendon Hooker, it's either Hendon Hooker or Michael Mayer. One or the other. Everybody's talking about Dalton Kincaid from Utah and all that, but I really like Michael Mayer. I think he's a little better. And I would agree with that Hendon Hooker one. I think, let's see where I had him in my mock draft. I think I had Hooker to the Bucks actually at 19. Yeah. I had Hooker going a little bit higher than what people were thinking, just because I feel like Hendon Hooker, he brings a lot to the table. I feel like he's got that good experience. He's got good arm. He's got really great accuracy. My only knock against him is obviously the injury. Do you think that the injury is going to kind of affect him at all?
No, because it sure isn't going to affect Jackson Smith, Najigba.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's
Now,
another thing. They say it's going to affect somebody, but it's not going to affect someone else. Like, that don't make no sense.
now, who do you think is the most overrated player in the whole entire draft? A player where just like, no.
Yeah, Benjamin, I actually had Hendon Hooker at 19 too.
Really?
To the
To the Bucks? Who
Yeah,
so who is the most overrated player?
overrated player, Anthony Richardson.
Okay. I'm not sure what Aiden would say on that. I
And
mean, I think a lot of
can
people
I
are.
say some kind of like a hot take?
Yeah.
Jalen Carter is gone before Will Anderson Jr.
So that's the funny part. My most overrated player in the draft is Jalen Carter, and I'm going to tell you why. Jalen Carter, my issue with him is number one, he only visited the top 10 teams in the draft. I don't like that. If I'm going and if I'm being drafted, I want to be visiting as many teams as I can. If you've got people interested in you, you want to put a good forward. He's got criminal stuff. Not accusing him of anything. Innocent until proven guilty. It doesn't matter. But there's that circling around him. The combine workout looked terrible. The pro day workout looked horrendous. I'm not bought in on Jalen Carter fully. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying I think he's a little bit overrated. And that is why he would go as my most overrated player. Will Anderson Jr. is also pretty overrated too, but I still have him going at second because I know that the Texans have been interested in it. So that's kind of my logic behind that.
Yeah, certainly.
So, who are three players that you think will be NFL stars in this whole draft?
You know what? I think three players. Let me just say a player from 3 rounds, like a player from each
Sure,
round.
let's go.
Okay,
That's great.
so I'm going outside the top five,
Mm.
for those purposes, because everyone in the top five certainly probably will be. But I'm going with Jordan Addison
Okay.
for a first round. Second round, Mozzie Smith.
I like that.
Mozzie Smith and Josh Downs.
Okay.
And round three, Keishon Butte, Henry Teoto, or
Mm-hmm.
or Tank Bixby.
Dude, I agree with pretty much everything that you just said right there. Let's go. I'm gonna go outside. I'll go outside of top five too. If for my personal draft, if I had to go, I know it's a little cheap because he's number 6, but I think Davon Witherspoon, the cornerback out of Illinois, he is going to be special in my opinion. And then if we look into the second round, hold on, let's head to the second round here. Second round starts. Let me look. Second round, Michael Mayer. I have Michael Mayer heading into the second round of the Packers.
I have Michael Mayer going to 26, so you kind of have him kind of low.
And then third round, I just kind of have a bunch of, random players. But I would say for me in the third round, I'm going to go with Henry To'oTo'o. I have him heading to the Cowboys as a left back. I think he can pair well. I'm going to go with Henry To'oTo'o and Devon Witherspoon and Michael Mayer. I think Michael Mayer is going to be kind of like the next George Kittle, in my opinion. Who are three?
Have
Yeah.
you heard this? Have you heard the story about Austin the Raptor and us with Henry Teoto?
Mm-mm.
So we were just calling a bunch of like random Tennessee players, and he always answered. So like we would talk to him a couple times, and he like would always answer, and then like he like followed us back.
Really?
And, yeah, and we would just call him like a couple of nights randomly.
Well, that's amazing. According to ESPN, I'm just seeing something right here. They think that the Titans will trade up and select C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson. So that's just something that they say. Now, quickly, I'm going to ask you another question. Who are three people that you think will be busts?
Just, I'll say probably first rounds because that's kind of what the
That's
definition
fine.
of a star. But Anthony Richardson,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Nolan Smith,
Mm-hmm.
and Zay Flowers.
Bryce Young, Will Anderson
No, no, no,
Jr.
no, no, not Bryce Young.
I'm going Bryce Young.
Oh, you are. I was like, geez.
Okay, Bryce Young, Will Anderson Jr. and and Jalen Carter. Bryce Young, Will Anderson Jr.
Alabama.
Jalen Carter. I hate to say it, I'm kind of a Jalen Carter hater. I'm not in. Not a, I know. Wait, they're in Alabama.
No.
Okay, I hate to say, I gotta admit, I am a little bit of a Jalen Carter. I'm not a big Jalen Carter guy. I just never really. I mean, I get it. I just worry about him with injuries and all sorts of things. What do you think about that big tight end Darnell Washington from Georgia?
I'm not really too worried about him. I think my eyes are kind of what your eyes are. Kincaid and Mayer.
Yeah. Okay. So final draft question. All right. The best player in the whole entire draft is
Hendon Hooker.
okay. Well, I don't know what Aiden's thoughts would be. For me, the player that I think will pan out to be the best player. This is my hot take. Okay.
Can I
In
guess?
fact, in fact, could we put some points on it?
Well, that would just be a personal opinion, and it would have to be like
All right, fine.
in a couple of
It'll
years.
be personal opinion, but just know I'd be willing to put points. And I know we can't put points, but just to the listeners, know I am very confident.
My guess
Mm-hmm.
is either going to be Quentin Johnson or Byron Robinson.
Incorrect.
Crap.
Anthony Richardson. I'm gonna tell you why. I just feel like his athletic potential, if he goes to the right offense and somebody unlocks him, I just feel like, just bear with me for a second. I just feel like if somebody unlocks his potential, this dude can be lights out. He's the one who I think is kind of overall the best player. Now, the best player first year, so this is kind of complicated. I think Anthony Richardson will not be the best player first year. He's going to develop. Best player first year is what you just said, which is Bijan Robinson. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, if what I'm saying. I'm saying Anthony Richardson is the best player overall
Yeah.
over the career lifespan or whatever, not lifespan, excuse me, like career span. And then Bijan Robinson will be the best first year. And Bijan Robinson's going to be great. I think he's amazing. It's just, a running back can only be so good. I hate to say it, like Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, like some of the best out there. And like they still don't compare to Patrick Mahomes or anybody like that. So it's just kind of, I don't know. But that's just my opinion. That's Alex's opinion. Let us know in the comments what your opinion is on the draft. Any final thoughts about the draft?
I'm going with Joey Porter as rookie of the year.
I like that.
Back to back.
I like that. I like that a lot. I agree with that. Rookie of the year. I can see. I think I haven't gone to the Patriots. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the NBA playoffs. I hope that the Titans get someone good. We might. I don't know if we'll be live reacting to that. You'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Some updates and whatnot.
Yeah, hopefully this podcast will be out by tomorrow night, but we'll see. Let's move on to the NBA playoffs due to time here. So the NBA matchups roll on and start to heat up. The Hawks survived elimination thanks to Trae Young's clutch three in an epic comeback when they were down by 13 late in the fourth. The Grizzlies are in danger of being eliminated against the Lakers right now. What do the Grizzlies need to do to adjust and fend off elimination tonight? What do you think?
Well, first of all, we need experience. Second of all, we just need to be playing better. We're getting out rebounded. We don't have our two best rebounders. Well, two of our top three best rebounders. So that always sucks. But we still need to make money moves at the bank. We don't need to be making money moves at the practice. We need to be making money moves at the bank. And that's kind of all we're saying. We're saying we're doing all this good stuff in practice and sure not showing it.
Yep. What do you think? Okay, what do you think?
Just kind of like the experience.
What is one thing that has surprised you about the playoffs this year? Is there any team that's kind of surprised you? I'll start off first, personally. For me, the Miami Heat have really surprised me. Jimmy Butler looks amazing right now.
Yeah, that'll probably be my second answer, but I would probably say either the 76ers or the Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cavaliers have been disappointing. I'm not. Donovan Mitchell has been pretty disappointing, if I'm being honest. Only 2 points in the second half against the Knicks, and they're losing right now, I believe. Last I checked, probably going to be eliminated. All right, let's see here. Any final thoughts?
No, it's kind of been a pretty good, I would say, playoffs and go Grizzlies. Get it done.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the NHL playoffs. So the NHL playoffs are starting to get interesting. The Leafs are getting close to a first-round win, and the Devils and the Islanders picked up huge critical wins on the road. What has been your favorite series to watch thus far in the NHL playoffs?
In the NHL playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
probably not the closest, but probably my favorite is Knights versus Jets.
Okay. I watched that.
Teams.
I watched that game on Saturday.
Yeah.
When I went to overtime, that was crazy.
Double overtime, right?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, double overtime. I think for me, there's been a lot of series that have caught my attention, but probably I've been real interested in the Panthers and the Bruins and certainly the Leafs and the Lightning, of course. But everybody's of course interested in the Leafs, but I think the Bruins and the Panthers have been interesting. And of course, the Devils and the Rangers. The Rangers go up 2-0 on the road. You think the Devils are completely out of it, and then their youngsters come through and pick up 2 massive wins on the road in the Garden, which shocked me. I couldn't believe that. Game 3, they win in overtime. Game 4, they're able to come out with the win. So I just found that super impressive by the Devils. And now they're back home in a loud crowd in New Jersey who's like fired up now. Now kind of the ball's back in the Devils' court. What are they going to do? So I just found that personally.
Yeah, and also another series I'd probably want to highlight is the Kraken versus Avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of thinking it could maybe go to 5-6 games, but now it's looking they can take the full 7 if they really want to.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's now move on to more news, and then we'll move on to predictions. We're just kind of going through this just due to time, unfortunately, but hopefully next week we can deliver a little bit longer. But it's all good. Let's move on to more news. So let's start off with kind of some of the extra news that I just kind of put in here at the end. So Aaron Rodgers has been dealt to the Jets. Finally, what are your thoughts on that? Are the Jets Super Bowl contenders?
We knew it was coming. It just kind of matter when.
Yep.
And certainly, like they said, they're putting money in the bank. They're just doing what they should be doing. They ain't playing it stupid. They're getting it done quick. But they're getting some of these older guys. What's his name? Rodgers.
Yep.
And who else went there?
Lazard.
Yeah.
But what about Cobb? Did Cobb go there? I don't remember. I know he wanted Cobb. And Cobb's older.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, so do you think the Jets are Super Bowl contenders?
No.
Ooh. I would agree with that too. So we're kind of agreeing tonight. I feel like Rodgers is going to make them really good. Are they going to be legit contenders? I see them probably losing in about the divisional. Personally. So yeah, that's kind of what my thoughts are. I did notice Rodgers made some comments saying he's here to be there long term, not just for 1 year. What do you think about that? Probably going to stay long term. It's not just a one and done.
Well, when you say that, you also got to think about who's behind him, and that's Zach Wilson. Certainly a great quarterback, so we maybe
Yep.
see him getting dealt in the draft. And if he is dealt, then you're going to need Aaron Rodgers to step up 2-3 years.
You
But you
know
got
what?
Zach Wilson, maybe help him develop.
I wouldn't, if I'm being honest, I would not be surprised if Zach Wilson and kind of the Jets maybe moved up a couple of picks in the draft, just kind of showing off and going and getting, someone big for Rodgers. Rodgers' blind side is going to need some protection. Last year the Jets struggled on that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Jets maybe even move up a couple of spots, maybe using Zach Wilson as kind of a little bit of a starting talking point for teams to kind of say,
You know what? I don't really want to say this, but I think a good trade with Zach Wilson to the Titans, and maybe at our spot picking Paris Johnson.
yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with that. I feel like the Titans might be someone who would maybe take that bait a little bit. But I don't know. Would it be worth them trading 3 spots up for on the Jets' point of view? I'm not sure. It would be an interesting trade. I don't know if I'd be thrilled about that personally, but I've not really thought about that. Speaking of the Titans last night in the early morning voted, and it is official. A new stadium is being built in 2027, valued at $2.1 billion. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm stoked. It's not just good for Titans, not just for Nashville, for the whole South, and for especially Tennessee.
Yep. I mean, I'm hyped too about that. I know that there's been a little bit of pushback, due to some of the money, but I'm personally excited. And then the last little bit of news, some rare kind of soccer news here. CJ Sapong has been traded to Toronto FC in exchange for a player and some money. What do you think about that? I'm gonna miss CJ here.
Oh,
But he wasn't quite
100%. Yeah.
cutting it.
One of the main reasons why I watched, MLS and National Soccer Club, one of the big pickups, other probably than Walker Zimmerman, that
Yeah.
I was thrilled about during the fantasy draft.
Yeah, it does suck to see CJ go. He wasn't cutting it though. It's not going good or going well for him when Shaq Moore has more assists than he does. I know we don't talk about it on the podcast, but I do watch every NSC game. So, by the way, big game this Saturday against Atlanta United at 12:30. That's another game I'd watch. It's on Fox too for those people who don't want to play the Apple TV game.
What?
You can watch on Fox.
What are they doing? What time is it?
12:30 on Saturday on Fox in Nashville.
Wait, I thought this game, the Mets game, Atlanta Braves versus Mets, was on Fox.
That's the game right after. It's right after.
Oh, so that's
So as soon as the NSC game concludes, then we head to Braves.
Grizzlies do have a sizable lead.
Really? What's the score?
39-56.
Okay. Well, Game 6 could be heading to LA. So those are yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, 3:05. Sorry, I was thinking it was 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that would be a good if you live in this area or fan of the Braves and see. Certainly tune in this weekend, Saturday.
Yep.
On Fox.
And you even got the draft in the background. Keep the phone updated when the Titans pick or somebody like that or your team flip over there. Let's go and move on to predictions to close us out here. So what I did is I set it up this week. I was kind of contemplating about how I should do this. A lot of the games, have not actually been scheduled because it's if they're necessary due to the series, elimination games are now upon us. So we're just going to go ahead and say every series is going to be concluding by next Wednesday. So we're just going to go ahead and say just who you got. Who do you have to close out the series? That's kind of how I set it up. It just made sense. So instead of playing the whole if necessary and then yeah. Let's so who do you have winning the Celtics and the Hawks series to start off?
Can you say Aiden's first?
What?
Aiden's.
Oh, that's a good point. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that up. All right, so Celtics and the Hawks. We'll start. So I'll start. I personally have the Celtics taking that series. Aiden has the Celtics, and you have.
I also have the Celtics.
All right, so we all agree there. Grizzlies and the Lakers. I'm going to take the Lakers in this series, probably about in. I'm going to take the Lakers in 6. Let's see. Aiden has the Lakers 2. Who do you have?
I also have the Lakers.
Ooh. All right, Kings and Warriors. A little bit of a toss up.
1 second.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll go while he's putting the stuff down. So Kings and Warriors, a little bit of a toss up series. I have the Warriors winning this in 7. And Aiden has, let's see, the Kings winning this one.
I had the Warriors.
See? Bro, we're agreeing today. Okay. Bucks and the Heat. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks too in 7. I do see the Bucks rebounding. Aiden also has the Bucks, which surprised me. Who do you have?
The Heat.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a safe one. I'm not gonna bet on that or wager on that. Excuse me. Cavaliers and Knicks. 3-1 to the Knicks. I'm gonna go with the Knicks in that one to close out that series. In fact, I think that's pretty much over. I think the Knicks are destroying them right now. Aiden does have the Knicks.
I'm going with the Knicks.
All right. Suns and Nuggets, game 1 of their series. It's not who's going to win the series, just game 1. And give me the Suns taking game 1 on the road. Who do you have? Okay, you have the Suns. Aiden takes the Nuggets. Panthers and the Bruins. We move on to hockey. I'm going to have series is tied up at 2.
No.
That's not right. I wrote that wrong. I thought it was 3-1.
What was?
The Panthers and the Bruins, wasn't it 3-1?
Yeah, it is 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Also, I'm going ahead and writing it, and also I was a little bit confused.
And I have the Bruins taking that one. Let's see. Aiden has the Bruins. Who do you have?
I also have the Bruins.
Yeah. Kraken and the Avalanche series tied up at 2. I am gonna go with the Avalanche to get the series W there.
I'm up. Shoot, I'm always up. I'm also going with the Avalanche.
All right, Aiden goes with the Avalanche too. Leafs and Lightning. I have the Leafs winning their first series in many, many years. Aiden takes the Leafs, and who do you have?
I had the Leafs.
Rangers and the Devils. I am going to go with the Rangers in this series to take this one. Aiden takes the Devils. Who do you have?
I'm also going to take the Devils.
Ooh. Do you want to wager?
Nah.
Yeah. Okay. Jets and the Knights. Yeah. I have the Knights. Aiden has the Knights. Who do you have?
Knights.
Yeah. The Jets just ran out of energy, unfortunately, for them. All right, let's move on to the Royals and the Twins. We move on to baseball. Give me the Royals in this series.
The Rovals.
All right. Let's see. He has Twins in that one. You said the Royals, Phillies, and the Astros. I'm gonna go with the Astros. Some people are gonna like that. I'm gonna go with the Astros. Shout out if you're listening. You know who you are. And Aiden goes with the Astros too. Who do you have?
Phillies.
Okay.
You know who you are.
What?
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. You know who you are if you're listening at this point. Cardinals and the Dodgers. I got the Dodgers in that one. I like what the Dodgers are doing as always. Let's see. Aiden has the Dodgers too.
Dodgers.
Braves and the Mets in that series. Give me the Braves. I like the Braves right now. They're heating up.
Yeah, the Braves.
And he's got the Braves too. Aiden's got the Braves. Cubs and the Marlins. I got the Cubs. Aiden's got the Cubs. Who do you have?
The Cubs.
All right. Now let's move on to the MLS. LA Galaxy against Orlando SC. I got Orlando at home. Galaxy have been struggling. They did get their first win last week, but give me Orlando SC.
I'm going with Galaxy.
All right. Aiden's also got Galaxy. NYCFC against Toronto FC. I got Toronto at home. And Aiden has NYCFC. Who do you have?
I also have Toronto.
All right. St. Louis City FC against the Timbers. I've got the Timbers at home. Aiden has, let's see, the Timbers at home. Who do you have?
I have St. Louis. Surprisingly good expansion team.
Yeah, surprisingly good is right. Nashville SC, final pick of the week. Nashville SC against Atlanta United in the primetime game on Fox, 12:30, the matinee. I have Nashville SC. Aiden has Nashville SC. Who do you have?
Atlanta United.
Ooh. Do you want to wager that?
No.
All right, I figured not. All right, well, there's our podcast. There is our thoughts on this week in sports. A nice 30-minute episode.
Yeah, tell us if you
yeah.
like more in depth or quicker kind of ones.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll see how this does. I mean, if you guys like the quicker kind of like 30-minute ones, maybe we, especially in the summer, maybe we record like a couple 30 minutes a week instead of doing an hour and a half. But
Maybe
we'll
like
see.
a morning show. I don't know. Give us ideas.
Yeah, give us ideas. If you have any questions or comments, or you just want to be on the show, please email us at tlease5588@gmail.com. Again, tlease5588@gmail.com, or use our link tree. Thank you for listening. See y'all next week.
I'm
Go
Alex.
Titans.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Aiden right here.
Sorry for not being in the podcast this week again for the third week in a row. I know my voice is not good, and I was sick today, so
It's all good. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Audio.
you. Go Vols in the draft.
Go Titans.